today's forest patrol route map. We need to head here first, then make our way over to there? There's a lot of writing.
Алло. Чуть потише себя сделаю, вот так вот. Так, это что у меня такое открытое? Ага. Так. Так. Привет, нуб-мастер. И где у нас на все эти ежедневочки?
When I don't have much to keep me occupied, old thought patterns start to creep back in, and as soon as I start talking about it, the flashbacks start. Odds reveal. Emerge right now.
Вот как она не попала по нему ешкой? Вот у Джин появился с некоторого времени баг, ну, наверное, последние уже полгода. Когда она бьет противника и ешкой просто не попадает по нему. Вот, ну, раньше этого не было, вот последние именно полгода, так точно, вот, ну, ты нажимаешь ешку, а она не попадает, при этом, ну, противник стоит перед тобой, но это прям очень жестко бесит. Не, я же вчера говорил, что ты можешь вчера это скачать, и сегодня, когда выйдет обновление, ты его просто установишь, и тебе ничего не нужно будет качать, поэтому я-то себе скачивал все заранее. Я что-то, кстати, даже не обратил внимания, сколько весило обновление. Оно же там вроде как должно было появиться. А, ну да, вот пустыня появилась. При этом половина только пустыни. А здесь пустыня где? Ну да, нам половину пустыни добавили только. И при этом вниз карту, то есть они еще вот это будут, что ли, добавлять. Я думал, только как-то вот так будет. А они как-то вниз карту продлили. Ну ладно.
Right here, right now. Emerge. Go as planned. Hi. Just like we rehearsed. Right here, right now.
Нет, я ничего не брал. Я в Genshin только зашел, погорел с того, что разработчики, ну, они вроде бы умные ребята, но такие тупые действия делают, вот, ну, реально такие тупые. Я с них прям вот перед началом стрима прям погорел. И пока еще ничего не брал. Вот только буквально зашел, сейчас выполню ежедневки, немного успокоюсь и буду разбираться с тем, что они добавили. Ну хотя награды они же дают что-то именно возможность взять не только в первый день, а по-моему еще если я завтра зайду или послезавтра на аккаунт, мне награды точно так же дадут за вот эти вот именно извинения, типа за... как их? Как их называют-то, блин, технические работы, вот. Ну, потому что, ну, что случилось? Я захожу в игру, да, я первым делом нажимаю, и у меня вот тут горит типа персонаж занят другим заданием. При этом у меня нету в списке заданий этого задания. Мне не пишут, какой именно персонаж, что вообще случилось. Я такой, ну, чисто начинаю рассуждать логически, наверное, какой-то персонаж в Сумеру. Я телепортируюсь туда, и у меня просто квест начинается автоматически. Я ничего не сделал, я хотел его начать именно с начала стрима, но мне пришлось этот кусок просто пропустить, потому что я не смог его даже отменить никак, я ничего с ним не смог сделать. Я даже, нажал Alt F4, чтобы выйти из игры, не помогло, я только захожу в игру, и у меня тут же начинается квест. Очень здорово, очень прикольно, просто палкой взять и пальцы сломать тому, кто это сделал. Типа вот, я нажимаю на квест, он у меня заблокирован, он занят, типа, персонаж каким-то заданием, он там, типа, в приоритете находится. Какое задание, какой персонаж, зачем, почему он начался автоматически, когда я туда телепортировался, что, зачем, вообще непонятно. В итоге, там, конечно, диалоги были не настолько важные, но все равно, зачем? Почему нет возможности отменить диалоги, почему я сам не могу решать, начинать мне это задание или не начинать, когда его начинать? Ну, блин, это, это реально тупо. Это не то, что плохо, это тупо. Я прям погорел с этого. Но я около часа пытался его отменить, назад как-то перелистнуть, еще там что-то сделать. Но ничего не помогло. В итоге просто пропустил все диалоги, погорел и попозже вот стрим запустил. Хотя там, конечно, ничего, опять же, повторюсь, важного не было, но, блин, обидно. Ай-яй-яй. Ну тут как бы много вещей, которые бесят, но вот это, и она еще попала так именно в тот момент, когда, ну блин, я бы не хотел, чтобы она начиналась, но она началась. Привет, Шинкай. Ну я сейчас тоже пойду сюжетку проходить, потому что мне все-таки интересно, что будет дальше. А где еще одна? А, мне нужно... Нет. Не понял вот сейчас. А, я все выполнил. Ага. Слух просила Венти, и тебе на 34-ю крутку падает Венти? Ну это, конечно, супер круто. А он прям у нас есть. А, точно, у нас есть баннер с Венти. Неплохо. А чё ты Сины себе не просила, именно Венти? Это же тот еще алкаш. А это что такое? Вот этот телепорт я точно не ставил. Откуда он тут появился? Или это телепорт у нас к этому странствующему торговцу, который в чайнике появляется, да? То есть они не дали возможности к нему, ну, на него телепортироваться, они просто в том месте, где он появляется, поставили телепорт, что ли, так? Потому что я его тут точно не ставил.
This realm is
Там какой-то декор новый появился, но нам, конечно же, не покажут, какой именно новый. А вот грибочки появились или нет, или эти грибочки были. Расписной камень. Ну, конечно, кустики прикольные, но опять же не показывают, какие именно новые. Мне кажется, было, наверное, вот до вот этих зонтиков было, а вот это все добавили вот сейчас новое.
If you ever have any questions.
Нет, когда закончится баннер, будет следующий баннер. И 2 обнова будет потом. Что у нас с этой штукой? Тут 2 дня еще осталось. Значит, у нас еще и магазин тоже через 2 дня обновляется. То есть у нас же сейчас обновление 3.1, а у нас в 3.0 сколько было баннеров? Где у нас? У нас был баннер Тигналь. Ну, был баннер Тигнари. Там же был Дед и Ганьюй, да? Как у нас было-то? И вот сейчас у нас также будет баннер Сина с Венти. Потом у нас будет баннер Нилу. И когда баннер Нилу закончится, только после него будет обновление 3.2. Это день рождения у Аяки сегодня, что ли? Аяка радуется, что сегодня она станет на год старше. К чему бы это? Принять участие в вопросе, да? И сколько примагемов дали? Это нам просто так дают 400 примагемов, то есть это в качестве ивента. 1 из 4. Дают какую-то птичку и 400 примагемов. Ладно, хорошо. И еще сверху 600, то есть за ожидание. А вот это у нас ивент какой-то. То есть в общем дали 1000 примагемов. Нет, ну у нас вот этот баннер будет 16 дней. Потом кто у нас будет следующий? Баннер Нилу 16 дней. И потом 3.2. Вроде бы как в 3.2 будет малышка Кусанали. Я не знаю, зачем я к нему бегу, вроде как. У него должен был подняться уровень, но чтобы этот уровень качать, нужно, в принципе, исследовать Сумеру. И вот эта трава тут появилась. Ну да. То есть подняли просто уровень максимальный. Так, ну ладно, где у нас там вот эта вот штука? Отслеживать цель. То есть я вот так вот сюда телепортируюсь, просто в поисках того персонажа, у которого у меня, ну, заблокирован. То есть именно в поисках заблокированного персонажа. Я вот так вот поднимаюсь вот сюда, и все, и у меня... Да, по-моему, сюда я поднимаюсь. Или вот сюда я... А, вот она где Катерина. То есть я вот сюда дохожу, и все, у меня просто игра крашится, и начинается квест. Я ни того не нашел, ничего не нашел, но половину как бы пропустил. Привет, Дмитрий. Поручение в Сумеру есть новое. Нет, давай потом как-нибудь. Дальше у нас тут что есть? А вот нам дали эту птичку. Тонкий механизм хранителя облаков. Инструмент.
Once there was a glorious kingdom.
Ага, 1000 единиц сокровищ потратить. А, получить. Я думал потратить. И что у нас здесь? А почему тут кошка нарисована? Как кошка связана с колеей? То есть ее дают за прохождение бездны, так как я бездну уже прошел, то мне дают колеи просто так. Я жму только кнопку получить, и я ее получаю. Я вот эту вот уберу. Ой. Ну, короче, у меня ОБС просто взял и завис. Ага. Очень здорово. Так, ну все, вроде теперь-то все работает. А я вот это самое начало именно пропустил, потому что у меня квест начался сам. И мне дали Ну, у нее вот здесь кошка какая-то. Ее восстановление энергии возвышается на 20%, ну неплохо. Сервал. Это вот эта кошка называется сервал. Я не знаю, что это. Это у нас задание Кандаки, задание Сина. Открыта новая область и новый босс, которого, скорее всего, придется убивать для того, чтобы возвышать новых персонажей, да? Угу. Так, ну, наверное, я... Где оно? Я включу... Я выключу музыку эту, и я включу музыку в игре. Вот так. Чтобы без какой-то музыки, без каких-то вот этих вот А мы сейчас же, да, встретим Скоромучу, то есть уже получается в этом обновлении.
Let's continue our chat here. Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we can investigate the sages, Nahida? Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on that. But for now, I want to hear your thoughts. We're in the dark as of now. Since we still don't know anything about their goals, any rash move could tip them off and lead to terrible consequences. After all, every person in Sumeri City is one of their hostages. I've already tried that, but all the key members of the Academia, even the core 30 guards, intentionally avoid wearing their Akasha terminals. It seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding against info leaks from the Akasha. Of course, it could also be because they're wary of me. Have you already caught the sage's attention? I'm guessing not yet, but distrusting me would make perfect sense if they've ever paid attention to the urban legends about me. In any case, I probably can't take over their minds directly. No way, that's too risky. You mean it'd be too easy to get caught? No, it's not that. We shouldn't involve innocent students in this. A single mistake could completely ruin their lives. Doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people for my own selfish goals. How is that any different from what the sages are doing? That's a good point. Spoken like the god of Sumero. Are we really out of ideas? Nahida, you're super smart, so you already have something in mind, right? Don't keep us in suspense. Spill the beans already. According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan of the Academia, rejecting impractical motions at the beginning of a planning session will give more weight to the actual proposal. Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick to make us take your ideas seriously. Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, and if I can't get ordinary people involved, then I should find someone who's already involved, but hasn't decided to side with the sages. You're saying we should recruit a spy? That does sound like it could work. Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Al-Haytham. He seems like he acts alone, and he likes doing stuff behind the Academia's back. They probably aren't in cahoots. Actually, I already have someone in mind. Do you still remember that female scholar named Setaria? Setaria? Paimon remembers now. Isn't she the one who's always trailing behind the Grand Sage of the Academia? We ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival repeated itself. You could even say we're old enemies by now. Paimon still remembers the smug and mean way she always spoke to Nilu. I've always liked observing all kinds of people, and Setaria has always stood out from the crowd. She was born in the desert, and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her academic gifts allowed her special admission into the Academia, and also gave her the opportunity. Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty special then. Paimon feels like the name Setaria means star. When she lived in the desert, she shone like the brightest star in the night sky. Later on, she was chosen by the sun. The star was given a soon after. The star witnessed the sun scorching the earth, which brought forth many The star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such a sun, Wouldn't it be better to return and light up part of the night sky? But in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes.
From the sound of it, Sataria's just hung up on the research opportunities here. But she doesn't really support the academia. She still feels guilty about not doing more for the desert, right? She's just running away from her problems.
Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug their ears and go with the flow until the problem can't be fixed anymore. She's suppressing a lot of guilt, but before she realized it, she had already become the sage's accomplice. She can't deny her part in their schemes anymore. Right. We must somehow make her face her problems again. That way, not only can we get useful intel from her, but she can also use it as an opportunity. From my past observations, Sataria will take a day off from the academia every 10 days tomorrow afternoon just happens to be a shopping day for her. That'll be our chance. To prepare, let's go check out some of her favorite spots and have a quick chat with a few of the vendors there.
То есть у нас в пустыне добавили голубей. Новых птиц добавили, которые на тебя тоже нападают, да? И типа очень много куриного мяса теперь. Ну, тоже неплохо. Так, а что у нас с этой штукой? Где у нас детали? Список предметов. И да, тигнари у нас тоже теперь есть в предметах. А вот... А как его лук назывался? То есть тигнари добавили, а лук тигнари не добавили, да? Ну, небесное величие, волчья погибель, коршун, молитва ветрам, лук Амоса, крыло, атлас. Ну да, тигнари добавили, а лук его не добавили. Ну что это такое? Типа, почему они не хотят добавить сюда нормальные оружия, нормальных персонажей? Ну, имеется в виду дальше это все разбавить. Ну что это такое? Как-то обидно. Да, я его пропустил, потому что у меня игра зависла именно в этом моменте. Я уже рассказывал в начале, да. То есть я зашел в игру, у меня вот тут пишет, что персонаж занят чем-то. Не написано никакой персонаж, ни чем он занят, ни кого, что мне вообще от игры нужно. То есть я просто телепорчусь в Сумеру, и у меня игра виснет на этом моменте. То есть она не дает мне сделать ничего, не дает мне отменить квест. Я просто вот сюда подбегаю, и все, и игра как бы триггерится, и начинается квест. Но я его сначала пролистал, а потом уже запустил стрим. Конечно, погорел с этого, но, блин, это тупое решение, вот, ну, реально. Не то, что плохое, это тупое решение разработчиков, когда я вот так подхожу, и квест начинается сам.
Should we ask the fortune teller about Sataria?
No, I already have enough information on Sataria. The most important thing now is for you to pay attention to the vendor's talking style and keep...
Talking style and keep?
My poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled over your fates? The divine voice of wisdom often echoes between mine ears. If thou be blessed today by the gods, I may be able to show you the way.
Huh? Really? Nahida, you've been whispering things to her?
Shh. My friend here has some doubts regarding his future. Can we get a fortune reading for him?
Of course, of course. In that case... It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of you. Perhaps, at some time in the past, you have somehow offended the gods.
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's financial savviness, and brawling with the god of Electro. Do those count?
Обзывал Энема Архонта, объедал Гео Архонта и подцапался с Электро Архонтом. Типа это считается? Ха-ха-ха, молодец.
Hmm?
Чё? Она типа не поверила.
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Health prospects. No problem at all. The gods have spoken. The truth shall be revealed. Your life shall continue on for... many tens of thousands of years? Impossible.
Ну да, где был, везде отметился. Привет, привет, Вов Блиц.
Harut, Marut, did you two spoil my divination? I've never read a fortune so absurd.
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most accurate fortune telling you've ever done.
I admit that the orientation of today's celestial matrix is suboptimal. As such, there will be no charge.
Ну, я думаю, в этом мире достаточно богов, и Паймон вряд ли является той самой богиней, которая отправила Тревелера сюда, типа, зачем?
Is
Ну,
that
нет.
so? Well, that can't be helped.
If you were to bring some food offerings
А
for
у
Harut and
Катерины
Marut
всегда
at
были
next
такие
visit,
синие глаза?
perhaps they could help you reverse the wheels of fate.
Is this another one of Sataria's favorite stalls?
Yep, it belongs to a king. His father helped Sataria a lot when she first moved to Sumeri City, so she still comes by whenever she has time. When I start talking with him, listen carefully to the details of our conversation.
Ah, dear customers, would you like to look at some pottery?
We caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we specifically came to take a look.
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild? Sounds like I'm in for some big business.
Speaking of, where did you learn this trade?
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade, but I picked up an interest in clay while apprenticing for him. After that, I began making pottery by myself in secret, and I simply changed trades when my works turned out well. Although it's a pity that I'm no longer making much use of the knowledge provided to me by the Akasha.
That's nice. You're making a living doing something you love.
So is your father still working as a mason?
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already saved enough Mora over all these years, he's just enjoying the retired life in Port Ormos nowadays.
I see. We wish him peace and happiness in his retirement. I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods. We'll leave you to it. Take care.
No problem. Rest easy, all our goods are sure to meet your...
Ну, теорий как бы у нас тут очень много, и большинство теорий все равно они лезут именно из англоязычного ютуба. И как бы кто-то их так рассказывает, кто-то их переворачивает, кто-то доводы приводит, кто-то нет. Поэтому, ну, блин, кто-то еще сливами пользуется именно. То есть это не то, что теория, это просто слив, замаскированный под теорию. То есть тут очень много всего такого, и кто-то пальцем в небо тыкает и угадывает все на 100%, что именно будет в игре происходить. Поэтому пока это не случится, это нельзя сказать, что это прям действительно будет так.
Sataria is always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia, so she always comes by whenever she's out in the city.
Так у нас получается, что вот эта Сетария отдыхает только один день, то есть раз в 10 дней. У нее 10-дневная неделя и один единственный выходной. То есть 9 дней работает, один день отдыхает. Ну ничего, она прям заряженная, конечно.
Nahida, you've really thought of everything.
It's my duty to protect
Ну,
Sumeru's
пока,
citizens,
мастер,
after all.
приходи.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before. Huh? Sorry, I don't quite remember. If I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about shipbuilding at the time.
Ah, that's right! I've always been really interested in feats of marine engineering. After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in and out of the port. I came to Sumeru to study, but failed to make it into the academia due to my lack of... But I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars. And I'm continuing to study and perform research from the restaurant's basement. I'm sure I'll get to the academia after their next round of exams.
То есть типичная история успеха, да, поехала в другой город учиться, вроде как в академию, чтобы получить какое-то образование, не вытащила экзамены и теперь работает официанткой в этом городе.
What an admirable spirit for learning. Amazing.
Sure, but you'll find hardworking people wherever you go.
So this restaurant has a basement as well? Huh. First I've heard of it.
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees use it for breaks or to hold private events.
I see. Guess that makes sense. Well, good luck with your studies, Miss Chishan.
Thank you so much. As long as I can make it into the academia as an official student, I'll be happy.
So, was that everybody?
ГГ начал Паймон молитвами закидывать, чтобы выбить как игрового персонажа, да? Ну, очень здорово, конечно.
Three familiar faces should be enough for Sataria.
What's the point of all the information we've collected? Nahida, you still haven't told us how you're planning to make
Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems, so we must find a way to break through her usual sensibilities. I remember that you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormuz are all making a fuss about the upcoming resurrection of the Scarlet King. Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the faith of her homeland may turn out to be Sataria's soft spot.
Oh, Paimon gets it now! You want to take advantage of the guilt Sataria feels about her homeland.
Привет, Хинни.
Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages. So how do we set that up?
Well, the Scarlet King is long gone, and Sataria is also too smart to fall for any simple tricks. If we simply engaged her under the guise of the Scarlet King's believers, she would definitely be wary of us, and we may not get anywhere. But if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to talk with her, her reaction would probably be very different.
So you mean you're going to possess those people we just talked to?
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply that they've already converted to the faith of the Scarlet King, and then convey our made-up will of the Scarlet King. As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sataria for sure. She'll never guess that we had anything to do with it.
Ah, so that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will only work if you can manage to
Exactly. So, Best of luck with impersonating them.
Huh? Best of luck? But we don't know how to possess anyone.
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also wearing an Akasha terminal, the effect will basically be as if you've possessed them yourself.
Huh. That is pretty convenient. But why does he have to do this? Can't you do it yourself?
Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good at imitating them.
You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious whenever you try to pass as Catherine.
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. But seeing how things are now, I probably should just accept it and push on.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only doing this to help everyone, and we'll only be borrowing them for a little while anyway.
Alright, then let's give it a go tomorrow afternoon.
И представляете, в этой же ситуации Райден, да? Типа Райден сидит такая, и кто-то вдруг из верхушки власти вдруг задумал бы именно переворот или что-то против ее воли. Я думаю, это была бы последняя и самая глупая идея тех, кто это бы задумал. То есть имеется в виду именно подход архонтов к жителям, которые живут в их стране, или как это назвать, в их городе. Понятное дело, что типа Нахида такая маленькая и все такое, но мне кажется, если бы она захотела, она бы с легкостью с ними расправилась. А чем мне нужно дождаться следующего дня 12 часов? Детям мороженое, бабе цветы. Смотри, не перепутай. Блин, как же давно была уже вот эта бриллиантовая рука, я даже не помню, что там было. Это когда он... пьяного его из такси доставали, по-моему, да?
Here she comes. Satori is here.
Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking to her acquaintances, we'll find a safe spot to begin possessing them. As for how we'll sway her to our side, I'll leave that to you. I trust you'll know what to say.
Paimon's starting to feel kinda nervous. Okay, let's go. Looks like they've already started talking. Let's find a hiding spot and get started.
Именно кошек? Ты думаешь, я их имена знаю? Ой, бедняжка.
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me has a very different background and outlook. Are you still listening to me, Nabia?
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking about troubles with your love life, right? I heard everything you said.
Okay then. You just seemed a little distracted for a moment there. Strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. Is something wrong? I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again? Ah, that's right. They are just little darlings, aren't they? Harut and Marut.
So, which fortune do you want me to read for you today? You must have come for another echo of the divine voice of wisdom.
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've been a real mess recently.
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work? I really just want to get it over with.
Пайман такая висит на заднем плане.
I hear you. No problem at all. The gods will reveal the truth.
По-моему, тут тоже было ох-охо, боги заговорили. Типа мне же говорили именно запоминать детали всего, что происходит. А я так что-то понатыкал. Она же, по-моему, не говорила. О, боги заговорили. Ну ладно.
Why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone home? Do the gods really know everything I've been thinking about?
Sitaria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question. The gods seem to be truly upset.
I'm sorry. I know I failed the gods. Please pass on my most sincere apologies and ask for their divine forgiveness. And if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you right now?
Привет, Наушика.
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and mightiest of all, the Scarlet King.
The Scarlet King? No wonder he would make such a demand of me. Oh, wait a second. The Scarlet King passed away a long time ago. Even though news of the Scarlet King's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can the Scarlet King still exist in real life?
What insolence! I am the Scarlet King's most loyal believer. Do you wish to refute his voice of wisdom?
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning that his divine glory has touched even this city. I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry, I must go now.
Вот и верь после этого предсказаниям.
Wait!
Oh, she just ran off in a hurry. She looked pretty upset too.
Well done. Sitaria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida, it seems like you understand human emotions really well after all.
All I know are some abstract Haravatot theories. In any case, my time with you has shown a lot of them to be utterly useless. I'm still trying to make sense of everything. Anyway,
Ну да, совсем беспалевно стоят, прикинулись шлангом.
He's out of games now, right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away.
Ну. Во, заработало.
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again?
Он как бы каменщик, но он же перестал быть каменщиком. Типа, при чем тут садовник?
Oh, right. Your old man's craft. How could I forget? Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better?
Но он же сломал ногу.
Oh, that's good to hear. I have been thinking a lot about him. If I could get some more time off, I'd love to pay him a visit.
А, кстати, его не озвучили. То есть та девчонка разговаривала, а этот
Actually,
мужик
while we're
просто
talking
стоит.
about him, is he still living in Port Ormos?
Yeah, he's been retired there for a while.
О, заговорил.
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Please pass on that recently, faith in the Scarlet King has taken root in Port Ormos and has begun to spread across Sumeru. He has a quick temper and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to get into a fight with those Scarlet King believers because of a difference in beliefs.
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of this? The Academia or the Scarlet King? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray the Scarlet King, and now you spend all your time with those crooks from the
Akeem, you don't mean you've also become a believer of the Scarlet King?
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this.
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. It might feel a bit overwhelming for Sitaria, but once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit to her mind and explain everything. Anyway.
Come on! Sitaria's already started talking with Shishan!
So, Shishan, have you noticed anything weird in the city lately? Like, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something?
Oh, right. Speaking of strange things, I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times that I lost count. That was really weird.
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible. Nothing in the report indicated anything like that.
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly tricks could never deceive all of Sumeru's citizens?
Shishan, don't tell me that you've converted to the Scarlet King as well.
Что заставило ее сказать вот эту фразу, именно Сатарию? То есть, она говорит, типа, я как будто бы по кругу ходила, на что Сатария говорит, ты что, тоже веришь в Алого Короля? Типа, как это связано? Как? Какая именно ее фраза заставила ее подумать, что она верит в Алого Короля? Ну ладно, я на самом деле что-то не понял, но допустим. Ладно, хорошо.
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King.
Квест как-то криво идет, а как он должен был идти?
In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed? You, who works side by side with the Academia and treated people as nothing more than experimental subjects?
Please, please stop!
Even now, Sataria
Ну,
still trying to
бедную
overcome her
Сатарию и
problems.
так грызли муки совести, а теперь на нее напали еще и местные жители с Алым Королем, и она теперь впадет в депрессию, и э, психика сломается, и это все может очень плохо закончиться для нее. На самом деле они очень жестокие, да.
She can no longer justify everything to herself.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards. What should we do?
This is the most important part of all. Quick, get ready.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to the Matcha right away. The situation in the city is getting...
Please, try to remain calm, miss. Tell me what's happening in the city.
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking about?
The Scarlet King! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him, but he's long dead. It's impossible.
Miss Sataria, nothing is impossible.
You know my name?
The Scarlet King is immortal, and all who defy him will one day pay the price. You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the Academia's grasp on you will become, and the deeper you will be ensnared. Child of the Scarlet King, never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should
Она
be
сейчас в
ashamed
обморок
for
упадет,
becoming a
бедняжка.
believer of the Scarlet King.
Sataria,
Привет,
why
Виктория.
haven't you gone home?
It seems that no matter where I run, I only keep finding more believers of the Scarlet King. I have to say, this is a familiar feeling. I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in the Sage's plans, and from ignoring the letters from the children of my homeland. But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides, did you really want to conduct your research while carrying such heavy feelings of guilt?
How do you know me so well? Are you truly just a believer of the Scarlet King? Or are you the god himself?
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the Academia and its sages, and to correct their mistakes. If you could provide some assistance in this matter, perhaps it could serve as a form of atonement.
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated opportunity for me to get out of this wretched situation. Please tell me, what can I do for you?
How much do you know about the sage's current activities?
I was just one of the designers for the massed dream harvest scheme, which is what happened around the Sub-Zero's festival. But I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff with the highest clearance would have access to those confidential documents. I've just been working to meet the Grand Sage's specified requirements. However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city, and even the sages are still quite wary of him.
To fight against the Academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their work. Is there a way for us to get access to the confidential documents you mentioned?
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant to the Grand Sage, and I've been working on many tasks outside of the project. One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. The sages have always closely monitored all activities within the Akasha. Let me see. Let's use the most primitive method. Send someone to pick up the documents tomorrow evening at the Academia entrance.
The Academia entrance. Wouldn't that be too conspicuous?
Don't worry about that. I assure you, this won't be a trap. I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the Academia again. It'll be safest for me to distract the guards long enough to hand you the document.
All right, I trust you.
So, if I were to successfully complete this task, would it mean I've atoned for my wrongdoings?
That'll depend on the judgment of the Dendro Archon.
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. As the god of wisdom, she's also the one responsible for judging and guiding the scholars. Maybe it's time for me to find a god to believe in.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to bring Sataria to our side!
The Traveler's execution was ingenious. He's the one who deserves all the praise.
Ну, Тревелер у нас, в общем-то, и певец, и танцор, и актер, и... Блин, каких только навыков у него нет, у бедняжки. Или это все от того, что он память потерял? И типа 500 лет валялся где-то там то под водой, то на земле. То есть непонятно, где он был. Откуда у него это все?
Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening, all we can do is pray for Sataria's mission to go.
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you? God of wisdom and guardian of the scholars?
No. The truth is the true guardian of scholars. I've always believed that. Anyway, let's meet again tomorrow evening at the Adventurers Guild.
Ну да, ГГМ Бат, понятно. Но у нас на следующей неделе ночью будет уже минус 6. Ну, то есть днем там плюс 8, ночью минус 6, так что у нас даже лед будет на лужах. Я куда-то не туда побежал. Хозяин зоопарка, поймайте 100 диких животных, у меня только 35. Значит, я не хозяин зоопарка. Что там нужно 7 часов, да, было дождаться? Ну да, ГГ это Итар, главный герой. Ну, может быть, он был во временной капсуле, может быть, где-то еще. Непонятно, где он был столько времени. А, следующего дня. Хорошо. Нет. Итер и Люмин — это типа брат и сестра, которые просто путешествовали между мирами. Нам неизвестно, откуда они взяли эту силу и как они этому научились, но они путешествовали между мирами до того момента, пока одна из верховных богов или богини, непонятно пока еще, просто не взяла и не выкинула их куда-то в один мир, и не лишила их сил собственных.
Catherine, right?
That's right. I suppose I'm the other Catherine in your mind.
Shh! We're on a secret mission tonight, so we need to protect Catherine's identity.
Yep, Paimon's right. We cannot fully rule out the chance that the meetup tonight is just a trap. If something were to happen, my existence may be the only trump card we'll be able to play. After all, the Academia should still be unable to confirm the existence of my consciousness in the outside world.
Yep, exactly. Just what Paimon was thinking. Anyway, enough about that. Let's just make sure to be on our guard. Off? What do you feel is off? It's the middle of the night. Of course it's quiet. You're not getting paranoid, are you?
No, I think he's right. It really is a lot quieter than usual. If you look around, there seems to be fewer people on the streets. I'm not sure if this is the case for the entire city, though.
Huh. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe Setaria figured out a way to not only distract the guards, but also to get everyone to go to sleep early, just so we can exchange the documents in peace.
I also can't quite figure out why things feel a little off. But now that we're here, let's go ahead and meet her as we planned.
Well,
Ну,
regardless,
пока еще
as long as
ГГ
you're here
ни
with us,
слова
I'm
не
of just
сказал,
a little favor.
поэтому ничего я еще не заметил.
Huh. There really aren't many people out right now. Let's hope it'll be this quiet in front of the academia, and that Setaria managed to distract all the guards.
Ну, он там сказал что-то, по-моему, и все. То есть там не было такого, что он прям говорит без остановки, как это делает Пайман. То есть, ну, у нас в основном всегда Пайман разговаривает, а ГГ молчит.
What are all these people doing here at this hour of the night?
Ah, the triumphant hero returns at last. And to a rather spectacular welcome, even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the academia.
Indeed I am. Although these days they tend to call me the Doctor. If you're looking for your researcher friend, she has already been taken into confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeri City. What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
Oh no, what should we do? These are all just regular people.
Leave now. You need to get out of here.
What? That guy's a F2P harbinger! We can't just leave you here!
Nor can I abandon the people of Sumero. Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
I see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the god of wisdom.
This should be far enough. Paimon needs to catch her breath first.
Ну, на самом деле это было очень тупо. То есть раскрывать свое местоположение. Она же только что сказала, что мудрецы не могут доказать нахождение ее сознания вне Академии. И она вот сейчас просто тупо спалилась. То есть она подвергла, в принципе, всех жителей Сумеру еще большей опасности, потому что они будут, уже знают о том, что Архонт смогла выбраться хотя бы своим сознанием. И они просто тупо обрубят эту маленькую лазейку, с помощью которой она смогла вылезти, и все. То есть все, что им нужно было делать, это тупо сбежать. Зачем она спалилась? Ну, зачем? Специальное... на самом деле, появление Дотора вот здесь было неожиданным. То есть я вот этот поворот не видел. Лично для меня как бы, да, типа я сначала не понял, что происходит, потом такой Доторы выходит. Ну да, было круто, но типа вот этот ход Кусанари был абсолютно нафиг не нужен и глупым. Да. Ну, может быть, она будет дендрохилом, а может быть, не будет дендрохилом. Ну, надеемся, что все-таки она будет именно дендростихией, да?
Is Nahida going to be okay? We only made it out because of her. Paimon wasn't counting on running into a new harbinger here, let alone such a high-ranking one. That guy was number 2. So scary. He called himself the Doctor. Remember, Tainari told us about him. Sataria did say that someone who once got expelled from the Academia came back recently. And that even the sages are wary of him. Yep. Sounds like she must have been talking about the Doctor. Yeah. Now that the Doctor's in the picture, we're no longer just dealing with the Academia. They're in cahoots with the Fatui. But what are the Fatui after this time? Another Gnosis? Yeah, things would be a lot easier with Nahida's help. Nahida said we'll meet again outside of the city. But we can't just keep waiting around, right? You mean... Oh, right! Wasn't he invited by the sages to work on some project when we were staying with him in the Vidia Forest? That has to be the same project.
Ну да, было в разговорах, что какой-то отчисленный ученик вернулся.
He might still know something. There's no time to lose. Let's go to Gandharvaville.
Не, ну вот этот вот именно сам ход, ну, во-первых, да, зачем, в принципе, она туда пошла, в теле, как вы там звали, Катерины, да, ну, в принципе, зачем, то есть для чего, что бы она там делала, достаточно было одного тревелера, либо прийти туда в каком-нибудь, не знаю, теле собачки, она же может вселяться в тела животных, управлять ими. То есть подошла, забрала, ушла, и все. Но это было глупо, то есть вот так сейчас она прям очень глупо спалилась.
Hold it right there. A blonde-haired traveler and a floating fairy. We've got you all right. Take a look around. You've fallen right into
О,
our
кто-то хочет
trap.
подраться. Хорошо.
Are you mercenaries from the Corps of 30? Did you come here to arrest us?
Corps of 30? We're nothing like those government lapdogs. We are an elite brigade that commands the highest commission rate in all of Sumeru.
миссионными во всем Сумеру. Мы исполняем изгнанника. А, то есть они подчиняются напрямую Доторе. Хорошо. Значит, у них есть деньги. Здорово. Их можно побить и забрать с них деньги.
The outcast?
Здорово.
An outcast from the academia? But why wouldn't the doctor just send the Fatui after us?
Still wasting time on idle chit-chat. We'll shut you up soon enough.
А эти местные наемники до сих пор еще не понимают, с кем имеют дело. То есть, ну... Бедняжки?
You're up, traveler.
Right here. Emerge. Right here. Wind, hear me.
It isn't over yet. Here comes reinforcements.
Right now. Right here. Emerge.
О, меня даже один раз смог кто-то ударить. Ну да.
Pretty rough. Is that what elite mercenaries are like? Yeah. Looks like we'll have to keep our guards up. But this doctor guy seems like a pretty tough opponent. He knew exactly where to set up an ambush. Going up against smart
Но
people
они же
is
говорили
tough.
про прослушивающее устройство. Куда он дел Акаши, терминал Акаши? Он же у него с собой. То есть они же слышали о том, что... о чем мы разговаривали Пайман и Тревелер. Присутствие Пайман, ГГ никого еще не убивал? Ну, не знаю. Ну, у нас, в принципе, игра-то такая добрая, то есть у нас тут никто никого не убивает. У нас по сюжету умер только... как его звали-то? ТП, еще какой-то чувак и сеньора, а все остальные живы, они просто пострадали, находятся на лечении.
Oh, it's the traveler and Paimon. What are you two doing back here?
Kale, it's nice to see you again. Are you doing all right?
To be honest, I'm not doing too well. My Elazar has been progressing at a faster rate lately. I'm finding it harder to complete more intricate tasks. As a result, Master Tainari is taking me off the patrol schedule. He will only allow me to stay here and coordinate other people's tasks.
Oh, Kale. Speaking of Tainari, did he go off on patrol? We're here to talk to him.
Oh, Master Tainari? He just left the Avidia Forest a little while ago. He was headed...
He left? But isn't Tainari always saying that he never wants to leave the Avidia Forest? He even turned down the seat?
I thought it was weird too. Master Tainari always prioritizes his work as a forest watcher above everything. He almost never... No, I only found out that he left through a message he left behind. He also made sure to delegate all his tasks using a schedule. To leave in such a hurry? I'd guess he had something urgent to take. Master Tainari originally studied in the Amorta Darshan of the Academia, and Partis Di is something like the Amorta's research base. Many rare shrubs and grass. I know that before he became a forest watcher, Master Tainari once spent a long time conducting research at Partis Di.
Ну и на самом деле, да, вот это опять же появление Дотора. Неужели у Тревелера нет с собой оружия или навыка, который бы смог его просто ваншотнуть в тот момент, когда он такой на пафосе выходит, типа, да, я тут такой крутой, и бах, и тут же умирает. Типа, он же не был бы к этому готов. Ну, у Тревелера по-любому должно было быть такое оружие, такой навык. Типа, он уже с Райдом посражался, что еще нужно? И как бы до сих пор жив, но, блин... Ладно.
Huh? Gotta wonder what kind of research Tainari just decided to work on all of a sudden. Oh, we don't have a lot of time, so let's go look for him at Party's DI. Don't worry, I'm fine. I'm used to living with Elazar by now. If you run into Master Tainari, please send him my regards. Got it. Will do. See you later.
О, а у нас вот эта штука здесь. А еще такая же стоит здесь, а я что-то про нее вообще забыл. Ну да, Екатерина тут
Traveling
стоит.
to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about these days.
Wait! Look who it is! Thank goodness you're okay. We were so worried about you. Hey! This was supposed to be a touching reunion, but you're ruining the moment!
Actually, it's very smart of the traveler to be wary of me right now. After all, the doctor has shown that his technology can apparently even control human minds.
Нет, я имею в виду именно вот сейчас. То есть там всякие Макото, Сайгу и все вот это, оно же умерло давно. Именно я имею в виду вот сейчас, пока именно у нас идет в рамках сюжета, по этой временной линии. Там, где уже тревелеры, ну, то есть там, где непосредственно мы принимаем участие.
Plus, it's not like you could have known what happened after we split up and I was facing the doctor by myself. Even a pool of stagnant water after a torrential storm can occasionally pass as a patch of sky.
Paimon feels like only the real Nahida could come up with such an obscure analogy.
Huh? But I wasn't trying to win your trust or anything. All I wanted was to clarify my point.
Well, we understand that point now. Please, Nahida, tell us more about what happened. Are those poor people all right?
When you left, I was still in the middle of restoring everyone's minds. Thankfully, when the doctor mentioned depositing information into the subconscious, he didn't mean engraving information into their minds. Instead, he did something closer to creating hallucinations. That was still within my power to fix. Luckily, I managed to finish my restorations and mind jump away from him just as he was about to capture me.
What a relief. The doctor sure pulled out some hidden cards, but good thing we had Nahida.
I wouldn't be relieved just yet. I gave away my true identity when I restored everyone's minds, which means we've lost another one of our trump cards. Also, the doctor is already an expert at modifying Akasha terminals. Maybe it's only a matter of time until he captures my conscience.
Would that mean you'd no longer be able to jump between minds? Then how do we stop him? He's still at the academia, so it's possible he already started messing with the Akasha. Ugh, it feels like he's toying with us. What a nasty piece of work. Plus, the doctor's combat ability alone is apparently enough to make him worthy of being number 2 of the Fatui.
We shouldn't give up hope just yet. Let's try to find another way to attack this problem.
Actually, Nahida, how did you know we were trying to get to Party's DI? Have you been waiting for us?
Yes, I have. I can see the traveler's elemental energy, so I deduced your destination by looking at the direct. You didn't come here for sightseeing, right? Did you find any leads?
We're looking for a scholar we know. His name is Tainari, and the sages once tried to reach out to him. Why don't you come inside with us and...
Okay, let's just hope we won't get him into trouble.
Ну, когда-нибудь я пройду квест Ранар, но точно не сегодня. Угу.
surprise! It's so nice to see the two of you again.
Who's this?
She's a scholar we met in the Avidia Forest. When we last saw each other, she was still training in the... what's it called?
Oh, I see.
That's right, we're old friends. You've come at just the right time. Ever since I've come here, hardly anyone has even talked to me.
Hypatia, you're way too excited about this. Actually, for you to leave the Avidia Forest means... you're not in training anymore? Wait, no. Did you already finish your training and reach Pariporna life?
What do you think? My consciousness has already managed to make contact with the divine.
You did it! Congratulations!
It's so exhilarating to share this sublime joy with others at when my consciousness made contact with the gods. What a supreme and unparalleled experience that was.
Мне кажется, она с грибами перебрала.
That sounds incredible!
Oh, all right. Actually, please wait. I haven't forgotten my promise to you.
Я не знаю, какую именно вещь и какие задания тебе нужно проходить, и я без понятия, ну, мастер.
Remember? I promised to help you understand what you saw from Irminsul once I gained deeper insights. My current self has not only gained true insight, but I can even help you establish a direct connection.
You can do that?
I've never heard of anything like that, but if you want to give it a try, I'll do my best to protect.
Hold on. I brought some spirit borneal with me. This is still a crucial part of the ceremony.
We're using that insight?
All right now.
Она всегда с собой носит такую
I'll
штуку.
help you establish a pathway to connect your consciousness.
Okay.
Ready?
It took 3 betrayals for me to finally understand. The world is just an elaborate tapestry of lies. My fury will never be quelled. The first to betray me was a god, my creator, my mother. Valuing strength above all, she saw no worth in me and I was discarded. The second was a human, my family, my friend. Consumed by fear, he saw me as an abomination. The third was one exactly like me, a hope for the future, a fledgling barely out of the nest. Powerless before his mortality, he broke his promise to me. Humans, they can't be trusted, and the gods fill me with pure loathing. So I said good riddance. I denounced the world and laughed in its face. My chest will never again be defiled by worldly filth. I will scrub away every last trace of human emotion. Then it will be empty, a blank slate, and ready to receive a supreme gnosis, brimming with pure divinity. There is no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
Did we actually just see the Balladier's memories? Everything matches what we know about him. But how is he connected to the divine consciousness that Hypatia was talking about?
You saw it, right? You felt it, right? Such a majestic god! Such a noble will! Such sublime emotion!
Она точно перебрала с грибами?
Alas, shame. If only that which beats within my chest wasn't a filthy mortal heart. Oh, great and merciful God, please grant me forgiveness and salvation.
Ну все, она сама сошла.
Do you understand now? I'm afraid this is no Purna life, but rather...
You! Why are you so mean to me? Why is everyone hiding from me? I found divine wisdom. Shouldn't I receive praise and honor? Haven't I uncovered that light in the darkness?
Hypatia?
That's how I always thought everything should be. Wait. Have I already lost my mind?
Wait, something isn't right.
Okay, we finally lost him. Are you okay, Nahida? Wait, no. Something feels different. You're back!
Oh, the Traveler's back?
Nahida was controlling your body for a while. It seemed like she jumped over to you as an emergency measure right before the Catherine puppet was destroyed.
Ульта. Ну, на самом деле, да, типа, зачем убегать, если их можно было просто раздавить всех на месте, типа, ну, блин, это же обычные наемники.
After that, Tainari heard the commotion and came over. He helped us defeat the mercenaries and then he ran with us all the way here. What? You swapped places? You mean your consciousness also went into Nahida's body? Wait, then where is Nahida's consciousness? Where is she now?
I never imagined that an individual's consciousness could be transferred around like this. Had I not seen it with my own eyes, I would have never believed it. I don't think this can be achieved with current human technology. Also, while we were running, the consciousness in your body told me to pass on a message. She said, The doctor has found a way to trap my consciousness, so I can't journey with you anymore. But even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusions and lies.
Вот это вот опять стихотворение, это ее попытка объяснить, ну, ситуацию или типа именно понятно объяснить. В темную ночь множество звезд могут распознать иллюзорность, могут, не помогут, а именно могут распознать иллюзорность и обман даже без луны. Типа соберите друзей, и вы без меня сможете меня найти. Типа так, ну типа под луной она подразумевает, наверное, себя. Ну ладно.
Oh no! Nahita's trapped in the sanctuary of Surasthana for good this time. Was that message all she left for us? It's pretty vague. Oh, that makes sense. Since the doctor captured her, she won't be able to say anything without him knowing. She's being extra careful. Even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusions and lies. Huh. Paimon knows the moon illusions and lies are from the alchemical divination at the Sub-Zero's festival. Didn't Nahita use a starlight analogy before? It had something to do with Sataria. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Huh. Do you think Nahita was telling us to go find help in the desert? But she isn't with us anymore.
Paimon, you said Sanctuary of Surasthana. Does this mean that this Nahita you're talking about, the consciousness who was occupying the traveler's body, is the Dendro Archon?
Your guess is correct, but the situation's a bit complicated, so it's really hard for us to explain right now.
That's all right. A scholar's curiosity doesn't need to be appeased right away. As for the complicated nature of the situation, safe to say I have witnessed that for myself. I've spent some time with you, and it looks like the Dendro Archon's also on your side, so I trust you.
Thank you, Tainari. Oh, actually, we came here to ask you a question. What do you know about the project that the sages...
Ah, that. While I was indeed invited to join that project, the sages were always secretive about its scope and goals, so I eventually declined. All I know is that that project has something to do with the restoration of Irminsul.
Huh? Did you see something when you were in Nahita's body? What?
Do you have any evidence? So that's what happened. That explains why Hypatia's symptoms were different from those of the other scholars who went mad. It's because she made contact with the consciousness of a new god.
Tainari, did you leave the Avidia Forest because of Hypatia?
I did. I noticed Hypatia's mental anomalies, but since her symptoms were rather atypical, I secretly took her to Pardis Dii and began searching for a way to if I didn't take action, Hypatia would have already been taken by the Matra to the desert, doomed to a life of exile. Now that you mention it, I knew the Academia has never thought particularly highly of Lesser Lord Kusanali, but I still didn't expect them to do something as arrogant as creating a new god. Looks like I made the right decision by not accepting their invitation. The Doctor and the Balladeer. We have 2 F2P harbingers in Sumeru. Sounds like we're in for a bad
Ни к чему, говорит, хорошему это не приведет. Но это как бы да. Ну, опять же, да, то есть, типа, Тарталья проиграл Тревелеру, это все знают. То есть, какой Сеньора проиграла Тревелеру, это тоже все знают. Потом Сеньора погибла. Но, типа, предвестники слишком самоуверены в своих собственных силах, и они друг друга ненавидят и считают других предвестников слабее себя. Поэтому, ну, они как бы это не послушают, тем более, что у них, ну, они каждый ведут свою собственную игру, то есть они вроде бы как союзники, но на самом деле им и друг на друга-то особо плевать. Тревелер — это главный герой. Ну, путешественник. По-английски тревелер. Ну, типа его все так называют, поэтому я иногда его тоже так называю, типа тревелер. Нужно 9 раз на дню ходить к Тартале. Блин, ну, пожалейте его хоть маленечко.
From your description, I don't think they've completed their project. There may still be room for us to intervene. But then, what is the connection between creating a new god and restoring Ermin's soul?
Ну и опять же, да, мы не можем сказать, что будет дальше, потому что мы не понимаем, как этот мир работает. Ну, было понятно, да, что Скоромуче досталось сердце бога от Райден. Типа он тоже хочет стать божеством, и каким образом он может это стать? То есть мы знаем, что, в общем-то, любой может им стать. То есть точно так же, как Венти, откуда он взялся, непонятно. Точно так же, как и Джун Ли тоже стал типа таким большим и сильным. То есть почему? То есть в теории каждый может стать богом, если накопит достаточное количество сил. Но опять же богом именно в рамках архонтов, а не в рамках именно верховных богов. То есть нам дальше будут рассказывать, как это работает. Ну и Тревелер до сих пор сражается однозвездочным мечом, нет, чтобы взять что-то нормальное и сразу рубить всех ваншотами. Он продолжает сражаться какой-то палкой, ну просто по сути куском арматуры.
I'll stay here for now. I still want to try a few more things to help Hypatia. If you're planning to go into the desert, start by heading for Caravan Rabat. That'll be your fastest route. Come find me here if there's anything else I can do to help. May the spirit of wisdom go with you.
Thanks, Tainari. Hopefully Hypatia will feel better soon.
Ну и Тревелер умеет пользоваться телепортом. Да? Почему бы не поставить телепорт здесь, прийти прям тупо в лоб, навалять им, если вдруг не получается, силенок не хватает, телепортнуться назад, отдохнуть и еще раз туда прийти. А? Звучит не так уж плохо. Это психологическая травма, что они проиграли куску арматуры. Ну, кстати, да, если мы посмотрим вот так, то у нас эта штука-то стоит вот здесь. А мне казалось, что она стоит, наоборот, вот здесь. Они ее передвинули, что ли? Она же была вдалеке видна. То есть вот здесь пустыня вообще какая-то безжизненная. Тут прям... то есть в этой стороне просто ничего нету. Ну, какие-то такие просто горы и все. Но мне казалось, что вот эта штука стоит где-то вот здесь. По-моему, она тут и стояла. То есть они ее, наверное, подвинули. Ну, это край карты, и мне реально казалось, что она стоит вот здесь, вот эта штука. Почему она сейчас стоит здесь? Ну ладно. Идем тогда сюда. С квеста Казухи. Ты имеешь в виду, который вот здесь делается? Вот этот, что ли?
Personally, I think the idea of things
Да,
staying the
там
same
дают
forever
какой-то
is
меч.
beautiful.
Здорово, я об этом даже не знал.
But alas, that is simply not the way the world works.
Не, ну он, Итер получает стихию каждый раз, когда открывается новый регион. То есть у него сейчас выбор между Анема, Гео, Электро и вот сейчас добавили Дендра. Потом будет гидроэлемент, соответственно, Тревелер сможет владеть гидроэлементом. И, возможно, в теории нам добавят возможность именно непосредственно в бою переключаться этими элементами. Я не знаю, кто это. Ник профи, но он уже себе получил Сайна.
It's pretty lively here. So, just past this wall is the desert, huh? Oh, wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside. Oh, if it's this tall...
Enough gawking. Come on, follow me.
Huh?
Over here.
Oh, Haytham went that way! Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
Нет, пустыня это просто часть нового региона. И это только часть пустыни. Угу. За нами опять ведут охоту наемники.
What the? Where did he go? How did we lose them? They were just here a second ago.
More Aramite mercenaries? Who are they working for this time? Anyway, Traveler, it seems like we were being followed again.
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you a long time ago. There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal favors. All I did was
Тоже такой типичный Бэтмен.
It's a habit I developed at the academia.
You really gave Paimon a scare, Al-Haytham. We never thought we'd run into you here. Last time we met at
У него, кстати, тоже Дендра Вижн. Мне же не показалось.
Don't tell Paimon that you're here to take us back on their orders.
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the academia's hit list. I can't say that I didn't expect it. However,
Ну да, а он разве был в прошлый раз, или он только сейчас появился?
You do have a point.
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy. And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer. Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the divine knowledge capsule. Unfortunately, I've run into some difficulties.
Ты имеешь в виду, он будет четырехзвездочным персонажем? Позвать Наэль, чтобы она все ноги переломала? Но это будет слишком просто.
Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos. If I am to get to the bottom of this, I must understand how the capsule first came to be. Which brings me back to you, and why you're so interesting. The leader of Ainul Ahmar used the divine knowledge capsule right in front of you, and upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed.
and you were lost in thought for quite some time. To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something. Are you interested at all in sharing what...
Oh, Haytham, you really have a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind of person even notices or remembers stuff like that?
So that's your answer. Well, I do work for the academia after all. So considering that, it is indeed wise to keep your cards close to your chest. But that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Am I right? No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you, I'd still prefer to investigate on my own. Speaking of, you two are also headed to the desert?
That's right! We have the same plan as you! But we don't really have any concrete goals at the moment.
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably have more resources and intel than anywhere else.
It's always better to travel with someone you know. Let's go!
А где тогда Дэн Слейв в этот момент? Чем он занят? Где этот бедняга? О, новая лисичка. Просто грибочки стоят.
Right now, emerge, right here.
Midnight, fantastic!
Hi! Glad there weren't any poisonous mushrooms inside.
Librarian,
Got a little tape.
Emerge.
Should replace my hammer. Picked the wrong test subject.
Glad there weren't any poisonous mushrooms inside.
Ну, такая типа вообще ленивая пачка, то есть ничего делать не надо, просто наставил турелик, и они как бы, о, скорпиончики, сами все за тебя делают.
Right now, right here, right now.
А, это мясо. Мясо скорпионов. Ну, навозников пока не видно. Вот видно только лисичку. Где? Вот. Раз. Опа, лисичку поймал. Это скоробей. Это у нас дошли до того, что теперь жучки ползают, и нам их нужно прям собирать. Ага. Прям сундук виден. А если бы я этот сундук забрал, он бы все равно тут остался. А где? А где сундук?
Before us lies Aru Village, the safe haven of the desert folk.
Whoa, this landscape is really something else. What a cool... Wow!
Sino. Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you care to enlighten me as to when and how I invited the General Mahamatra's wrath?
Oh, Hatham. Do not think you can escape my judgment, just because you managed to escape my attack.
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it? Or would elimination perhaps be a more accurate description?
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist. Standard practice for the Matra, as well you know.
Seemed to me more like your own personal touch.
Who is that, Al-Haytham? Did you call him General Mahamatra?
Yes. General Mahamatra Sino, head of all the Matra at the Academia. He's a formidable hunter, and the ultimate nightmare for any who have committed academic crimes.
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Al-Haytham, to the point of blocking an attack for him. If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I wouldn't believe a single word that comes out of his mouth. I have been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek to defend him any longer. Otherwise, there will be consequences.
Has Al-Haytham done something wrong? Paimon doesn't think he's as bad as you've made him out to be.
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Al-Haytham, I saw it during our fight. Take it out. The divine knowledge capsule you're hiding on your person. Unless you want me to retrieve it for myself.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a Matra's senses.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. What does this capsule mean to you? And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia, are you all alone in the desert? As far as I'm aware, the other Matra have been speculating about your disappearance. Have you been given a mission that's, let's say, morally dubious? If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to judge me within the walls of the Academia?
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal with.
You two? Ugh! What you would do, Traveler? Paimon feels like we can't trust either of them!
Ahem. Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Wait, Dia? Great! Finally, someone that we can trust! You gotta help us out here, otherwise these two are gonna start fighting again!
Yeah, sure looks that way. 2 giants from the Academia duking it out once and for all. Not something you get to see every day, that's for sure. Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality and lord your empty rules and virtues over each other. But how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe haven of Aru Village? It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your thick skulls until you finally learn to respect these grounds. Hey, did either of you hear a word I just said?
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's so strong! Is this
sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly! We have to take cover!
Someone's calling for us! Oh, this wind is too strong! Let's get over there!
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you academia folks such hard work? Move it!
All right, stop yelling.
Well, this is pretty awkward.
Словно дети не поделили игрушку. Эх, была бы Виктория там, она бы им обоим всыпала, да?
Hey, wanna play sardines with 3 people who wanna tear each other limb from limb? Sure, why not? Sounds fun. The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sandstorm dies down. Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace, protector of Aru village.
Если обратить внимание на глаза, потом покажу. Я, конечно, не знаю, насколько правда, но надо будет перепроверить. Типа слева синий, справа желтый, да? Такой с зрачком. И у нее кожа тоже такая, типа, смуглая.
Our savior has come at last! Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon. Thank you so much for helping us.
There's no need to thank me. It's only right to help each other when the weather gets rough.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring, like a nice older sister.
All right. Now that we're all better acquainted, we should return to the topic at hand.
Это у нее заколка такая. Блин, сколько же она весит? И, блин, ну это же тяжело на голову такую штуку таскать постоянно.
As a guardian
на
charged
голове.
with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm, I was observing your conflict from afar.
Я пока не понимаю, что тут происходит, поэтому я не могу тебе ответить.
And now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make absolutely sure that you pose no threat whatsoever to us.
Это просто рисунок.
So please, have an honest and sincere conversation with one another and put your hostile feelings to rest. If anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time with the creatures of the sandstorm.
On second thought, Paimon may have misjudged Candace's character.
And that goes for you too, Miss Dia. Do I make myself clear?
All right, we got it, Candace.
That's what I like to hear. So, which of you will begin?
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten
Это типа этот...
involved just now. Anyway, one of those two should probably start talking.
Как вот эти вот сходки людей называются, у которых есть какие-то проблемы, вот они сидят там в кружочке, и каждый пытается о своей проблеме рассказать, а другие люди его поддерживают. Это типа мы сейчас оказались на такой же сходке, да? Ага, ну ладно.
Wait, that was you trying to be a mediator?
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself. While Al Hatham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, It's not because I've been assigned a morally dubious mission. Rather, I've chosen to exile myself.
Huh? Exile yourself?
A little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development files. What little they did report clearly did not match the project's actual progress. As General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. However, to my surprise, the person responsible for the erroneous data was none other than Grand Sage Azar himself. I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request, but I soon found that all leads and potential pieces of incriminating evidence were carefully concealed from me. I began to realize that they were cautious of me from the very beginning. Unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the submission reached his desk. He even said to me, "The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the sages. You have no right to judge us."
В этот же момент его голова на пике должна была висеть на самом деле, если он прям по-настоящему такой генерал, который следит за порядком.
So they really are up to no good.
I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the sages to assert and maintain their control over knowledge. The vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold, they are meaningless to the academia of today. I believed it would be wise to flee the academia before the sages had a chance to take action against me. This way, they can no longer see nor predict my actions. I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority. Once I...
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. We're all investigating the sages.
Общество анонимных алкоголиков. Ну, похоже, да. Нет, игры на телефон я посоветовать не могу, поэтому, ну, тут прям вообще никак.
Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a lot less scary. Well, Sino, if that's your story, then why did you see Alhaitham as a target?
When I was investigating the matter in the academia, I overheard a conversation between Alhaitham and a sage. The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler. Do you dispute this, Alhaitham?
What?
Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with a divine knowledge capsule, and I think we deserve an explanation.
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating the traveler.
Alhaitham!
After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me, once you've completed this assignment, I can give you a glimpse of divine knowledge.
A most enticing offer.
Unfortunately, those academics don't know me at all. Their words contained one key piece of information, namely that divine knowledge indeed exists. That gave me all I needed to know. From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little strange they're so willing to share divine knowledge with anyone, even as a reward? So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the divine knowledge capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom in committing to this rather than collaborating with the sages. Had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Ain al-Ahmar mercenary, incapable of remaining sane for long enough to hold a conversation.
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, Using one of those capsules that drive people insane?
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the Academia I was waiting in Port Ormos for you to appear so they wouldn't suspect anything. So it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule.
Criminals do love to talk about coincidences.
Even though I ran into the Traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing assistance to the Academia. Also, you should remember.
Наконец-то зашел, ну вот, теперь сам можешь дальше начать играть.
You were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
That's true. Al-Haytham helped us out at Caravan Rebot as well. Maybe he's telling the truth.
I'm willing to apologize, if that's worth anything to you. I took the Divine Knowledge Capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no one to interact with it before it had been properly studied. After all, curiosity often proves to be the most dangerous thing in this land.
You should be well aware, Scribe Al-Haytham, that curiosity can also lead you to danger and suspicion. Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about their project with you?
Я вот только единственное не пойму, вот этот мем сейчас есть популярный, где именно Сайна и Тигнари. И типа Сайна там, Тигнари что-то делает, Сайна ему что-то говорит, Тигнари что-то отвечает, опять что-то Сайна говорит, и типа Тигнари душит Сайна. Я вот этот мем пока еще что-то не понял, то есть он же где-то взятый из сюжета, не просто так же его придумали.
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the Academia. Do you really think they would tell me anything?
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence, I won't regard you as an enemy, for now.
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see you two clearing up your misunderstandings. And now you, Dia. I believe it's your turn.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been so boring that I spaced out. My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the Homayani family, is friends with the Traveler and is currently recovering from her illness at home.
Откуда она это знает? Это ж Дехи говорит, мне показалось, Кандакия говорит.
I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru village for a visit. I was actually looking forward to a pretty exciting time getting back together with everyone here. But then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument. It ticked me off, and things went downhill from there.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely sounds like your style. In that case, welcome back, Dia.
Ну, кстати, у тебя, возможно, очень много весит обновление, потому что у тебя несколько озвучек стоит. Если ты выберешь только одну озвучку, скорее всего, у тебя будет обновление меньше, потому что озвучка весит, ну, реально много.
That's more like it. I missed you all so much, Candace.
Это еще что?
Whoa! What was that sound?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home. I'll take a quick trip outside to clear out some of those creatures in the sandstorm.
Creatures? In the sandstorm? Are you sure you don't want some backup?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without extensive training in these conditions is at a disadvantage.
Yeah, just leave him to Candace. Don't worry, she's as tough as they come.
The wind's died down. That means the sandstorm's over, right? Candace still isn't back yet, though. Is she alright? Maybe we should go out and check on her.
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried. Alright, let's go. We've been here long enough, and the boys are as chatty as the floor.
И тут ничего нет. Покинуть дом кого? Что-то я не успел прочитать, чей это был дом, ну ладно. Деревенского старосты? Ну ладно. Если туда упасть, то все. А, нет, там вода налита. Ну ладно. А, так это обычные собачки.
Candace, you're still fighting? You've been out here dealing with these creatures the entire time?
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of how many I've defeated. Before I realized it, even the sandstorm had stopped.
Here comes another wave!
Leave this round to us. I got interrupted earlier, but now I have something to take my anger out on.
It's been quite a while since I've seen the flame main in action. I'll leave these to you then.
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
А почему я один сражаюсь? Она типа такая, пойдем наваляем им, а я сражаюсь один.
The creatures stopped appearing. Was that the last of them?
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm. So we should be safe for the time being.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Huh? Who are you?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands full taking care of the villages. I am the chief of Aru village. Everyone usually calls me Uncle Anpu.
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not been back for some time now. May I ask if such sandstorms are common?
I can't say they've always been common, but recently the storms have become increasingly severe and frequent.
А, так значит у нас Сайна, как бы он родился в пустыне. Но, в общем-то, всю свою жизнь провел именно в академии, на службе. Да? А я думал, он именно живет в пустыне. Вместе, типа, с Кандаки. И, типа, вот этот пришел, но он когда-то тут что-то натворил, а теперь вернулся, и вот, типа, между ними завязался бой. А оказывается, они, типа, оба были в академии.
According to an investigator who stayed in the village a while ago, these unusual natural phenomena are related to the withering of
Виданием Ирминсуля. То есть он все-таки где-то в пустыне находится?
Another effect of Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest, and sandstorms and earthquakes here in the desert?
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms can indeed...
Everyone in Aru village needs to take good care of themselves. Speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single village keeper since I got here?
Village keeper? Who are they?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village keeper is how Aru village refers to mad scholars, exiled here by the... Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity after a period of training in the Avidia forest. The academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, they're forcibly exiled to the desert. Though if you ask me, it's all a boatload of nonsense.
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. One by one, the village keepers have been mysteriously disappearing without a trace. But no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around the village for the next few days, I'd appreciate it if you could keep an eye out for them.
I've had encounters with those people in the past. I'll see what I can do to help.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying to alleviate your guilt and atone for your past sins? I'm fascinated by how you think.
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will eliminate you, regardless of my position or identity.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an expert in these kinds of investigations. Thank you for your help.
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars. First they lose their sanity, now this! But, is it really a good idea to tag along with Sino? You seem like you really don't trust him.
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No doubt you will do a better job than some of my former subordinates. Let's start by finding a spot to share what we know so far.
Привет, просто. Да, обнову прохожу. Мне тут попалась одна картинка с Мико, и, блин, я не знаю, насколько сильно она тебе понравится, конечно. Хочешь, я тебе покажу, и прям твое сердце сейчас разобьется. Или ты не хочешь расстраиваться, я тогда ее показывать не буду. Где эта штука? Вот, я сюда хотел подойти. Не, ну так-то, кстати, вот даже она вот эта зона по размеру, ну блин, как третья Сумеру. Ну, очень большая карта. Вот это, конечно, маленькая, маленький кусочек, но тем не менее, раз они вниз продолжают, значит вот это тоже будет. А это будет, может быть, они еще вот это чем-то заполнят, чтобы она как бы была вот так, и у нас еще... А, ну, кстати, вчера это было, да? Или сегодня это? Не, это было вчера, когда я вот так карту махнул. А, ну да, вон она прям улетает куда-то прям в непонятки. Вот ее только назад возвращает. То есть они карту добавили, и что-то она прям забаговалась. Так, это у нас просто испытание. А где данжи с новыми сетами или чем-нибудь таким? Нету пока еще ничего, да? Как увеличить скорость интернета? Ну, другой тариф. А где у нас там? Да, я сейчас вот это включу. Было изображение. Открыть. Ну-ка, сейчас я найду. Подожди, где оно у меня было? А, вот. Короче, все, Мико тебя предала. На самом деле это прям серия есть вот этих картинок, где Мико именно вот в этом плавье. Ну, как-то так.
It's time to move on. We shouldn't stay here.
Так, времени-то у нас уже много. Я вот не знаю, что... А сколько у меня было здесь круток? Ну, у меня 50 на 50, то есть... Здесь, по-моему, около 60 должно быть. То есть это 50. Да, 50, а это 51. И это 50 на 50. Ну, я не буду крутить. Все-таки я дождусь, скорее всего... Я забыл, как ее зовут. Ну, в общем, да. И, по идее, если я сейчас сюда вкину десятку, у меня должна упасть легендарка. Нико твоя и точно. Точка. По идее, должна быть легендарка. То есть я сейчас даю 320 примагемов. Нет? А мне казалось, что должно было быть. Не крутить веника? Да не, я не буду веника крутить. Нина у меня тут, по-моему, и так C6. Типа, зачем? Так, ну ладно, допустим. Блин, по-моему, мне должна была быть легендарка именно на вот эту десятку. Нет. А это значит не на этом аккаунте. Блин. Ну ладно, я десятку выкинул, ничего не получил, ладно. У меня на каком-то аккаунте есть там уже прям лего должно быть. И мне почему-то казалось, что именно на этом.
Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the same things as before.
Что-то не понял, что ты крутил?
Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation? One of my former subordinates told me that this title has its origins in a strange incident. The academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aru village. A mysterious phenomenon exists here. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and deranged as before. But after spending some time here, they invariably begin to come. Initially, the people of Aru village greatly resented having to take in the mad scholars. Aru village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Seeing buildings on the verge of collapse all around him, the then chief of the village, suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. A soft, green light radiated from him, like a divine glow against the backdrop of night. Despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night, all the houses remained upright, almost as if they had grown roots reaching deep into the ground. After that, the people of Aru village treated the mad scholars with greater kindness, and began to refer to them as the village keepers.
Тут, кстати, блин, я забыл про нее, про ее глаза.
Soft green light? A mad scholar protecting Aru village? What do you make of it, traveler? Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Sino, do you know if any of the mad scholars continued to wear their Akasha terminals at Aru village?
Я не помню, что такое меч нисхождения, вот серьезно не помню. А так церемониалка, хорошее оружие для синцуток, точно.
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the academia could still monitor their activities. With that said, the main Akasha system would no longer have any interaction with them.
Oh, no wonder! calmed down, it was probably Nahida who calmed.
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story alone, then it appears you possess much more information than I do. So, what do you make of the story? Really? Lesser Lord Kusanali.
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanali was definitely using the Akasha to give her power to the Mad Scholars!
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you. I'm just struck by your reasoning. Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Dendro Archon. Is she really active in Sumero? The Academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They've more or less ignored Lesser Lord Kusanali, and I've never had any reason to doubt their views. In addition, I've never heard any stories about Lesser Lord Kusanali and her deeds. To me, she might as well have been a god that never existed.
Выпало Шинобу и Кандаки, ну круто. Как бы выбить 4-звездочных персонажей, желаемых тяжелее, чем 5-звездочного.
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's a... how should Paimon put it? She's a good Archon who's kind and wise. Even if she says weird stuff sometimes.
I've spent many years interrogating criminals, so I can easily tell when someone is lying.
Good! Then you should know that we're telling the truth.
That look in your eyes. I've never seen that from a liar. You two really must have met Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Нет, я никакие примагемы не собирал. Кстати, мне нужно будет на другие аккаунты зайти, чтобы там тоже собрать эти все примагемы, все вот это.
To think, our Archon has been amongst us this entire time.
All right, now it's our turn to put our skills to good use for this investigation. But easier said than done, especially since we don't have any leads. Maybe we can start by knocking up.
Excuse me, are you here to help me find my grandpa?
Huh? Who are you?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak. You'll help me find my grandpa, right?
Is your grandpa a mad scholar?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa. Why do you have to call him that? It's not like he's a bad...
The person you're referring to is not a local, yet you are. Why do you call him Grandpa?
Grandpa is just Grandpa. He's my family.
А я не видел еще никаких новых боссов и не дошел до них. Как бы я только еще 3 часа, ну, 2,5 часа в этом обновлении, поэтому я больше прохожу сюжетку, даже ничего еще не видел. Я даже еще тестовый забег не проходил.
Ah, so you're the one who was eavesdropping on us around the village chief's house. I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was, but I had a vague feeling that they didn't harbor any ill intent.
Whoa! Ethan wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses. Sino, he's just a kid. All he wants is to find his grandpa.
Sorry, I was only listening in because I wanted to know where Grandpa went. Honest. If you don't believe me, you can ask Miss Candid.
All right. But first, let's confirm the facts with Candace.
Как в эту штуку-то зайти? У нас есть вот. Начать испытание. Я просто забыл про нее. Элементальный навык, там что-то бла-бла-бла. Ладно, я потом посмотрим. Именно если обратить внимание на глаза. Почему-то она с такими глазами немного на кошку похожа, нет? У нее выражение лица еще такое, типа... А? Мне кажется, она больше похожа на кошку, чем косплей кошки. Ну и еще тут ушки какие-нибудь нарисовать, и все. Одеть ее еще в платье горничной, и все, и поехали.
You're in for a little shock. Come a little closer.
Do your worst. Hear my prayer.
Don't get frostbite. Cool it. Dodge this.
Flee.
Surrendering will be gentle.
Grant us your blessing. Do your worst.
This one will be frozen in time. Freeze.
Yield. Pin them down.
О, нифига себе, если даже...
Hear my prayer.
То есть у нас... Как его зовут-то, блин? Бэйдоу, когда ты ловишь атаку противника, просто бьет как бы по, ну, по радиусу, а это прям именно атакует по площади. И еще и раскидывает всех.
Let's spark things up a little.
Повторите испытание. А у него наоборот. Я думал, у него наоборот закрытый, то есть, возможно, он тоже скрывает такой же глаз, именно, как это называть-то? Глаза разного цвета. Ну, теоретически они чем-то похожи. У кого-то, говорит, пустыня закрыта, я только Сумеру на 7% закрыл. Ну, каждый играет со своей скоростью. Ну, у Виктории все не похоже, но тут как бы они могут быть как-то связаны друг с другом в любом случае.
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something with you. Do you know a boy by the name of Isak?
I had a feeling he'd go looking for you.
Huh? You knew this would happen?
Yes.
Ну да, ее всем бесплатно дали, кто 4-й этаж бездны прошел.
I still noticed him eavesdropping outside the window. He really wants to get his grandfather back. Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding employment in the city. He was raised by his grandfather. Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak was still very young at the time. Later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. Isak thought the scholar bore a striking... However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. Although Isak referred to the one summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling Grandpa suddenly calmed down and seemed to become more lucid. So Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the village, where he patiently taught the boy the names of the stars. The next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa again, only to realize his grandpa no longer recognized him. It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy, but appeared to be living in his own world, almost as if he were sleepwalking. Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace and would follow him all the time, asking him things like, "Grandpa."
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really sad.
Perhaps. Nearly everyone who lives in the desert has some form of hardship or regret. But even so, we must still continue on with our lives. It's also my reason for fighting. I must continue to protect this land.
Maybe the people have always had a considerate god watching over them.
Huh? What did you say, Sino?
No, nothing. As long as Isak keeps his word and doesn't get in our way, we can take him along.
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for. Please accept my...
Hey, Isak!
Ну, для прокачки Шинобу я не помню, что нужно, а для прокачки Кандаки по-любому нужны новые ресурсы, поэтому, да, это неудивительно. Мика, жди консты, осталось только Мику дождаться. И не перепутать Мику с Микой, как бы, да, их же теперь две будет. Только один просто Мика, а другая я и Мику. Ну и Тревелер до сих пор молчит, вообще ничего не говорит. Я не знаю, за что платят деньги актерам озвучки путешественника. Не, ну времени уже как бы много. Нужно сейчас еще там на Сина посмотреть, что он там делает.
When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road, muttering away and eating mushrooms and tree roots. They shouldn't go around eating that kind.
Okay.
Anything else?
Ты Мику ни с чем не перепутаешь? Ну а вдруг? Ничего, в обратную сторону надо было бежать.
The scholars that have gone missing.
Завтра на работу путешествовать. Ну да, это правда.
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Она его испугалась.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars. I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, but honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past.
Do you also think Grandpa?
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Isak. He was actually the one who protected my house. I saw it still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it. Did someone teach them how to do that? Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Stay safe and don't get hurt.
Sir, have you seen my grandpa recently? You know, the one who likes to sit and space out near the...
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak. Oh, the last time I saw him, he was spacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked him if he'd like any of the food I had prepared, despite my wife's protests. Like, and speaking of my wife, she's still always complaining about how I don't make enough...
Oh, thank you. Thank you for taking care of...
It was nothing. You're...
Yeah.
That's no good. Well, I've known you since you were very young. So as far as I'm concerned, you're family.
Wow, what a nice guy. Okay, thank you, sir.
Huh? Don't say anything for now. Isak, stay here. Let's head over there. Stay quiet as you move.
А я точно прохожу задание? Ну да. Том 3. То есть я же задание Сайна не открыл. Да, задание Легенд не открыл. Мне просто показалось, я прохожу вот это задание, я его еще не открыл. И я еще не проходил задание Елань ни разу. Я, по-моему, задание Казухи ни разу не проходил. И задание Тигнари я тоже ни разу не проходил.
Listen, see if you can make out what they're saying.
Have you heard? The mighty Scarlet King, the sovereign of our faith, will soon return to this world.
Yes, of course I have. The Scarlet King is the one and only true ruler of this land. Still, you say he's coming back, but it sure doesn't feel like life's about to change around here anytime soon. What?
Haven't you noticed? The village has been getting more deranged scholars than ever. Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of the Scarlet King's civilization in ancient times. We don't quite know why, but it seems like there's some sort of connection. Isn't it a sign of the Scarlet King's power that all the mad scholars have disappeared? If you ask me, they must have been chosen as the
Huh. Now that you say it, that does make some sense.
Exactly. Those city folks will get what's coming to them.
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the very beginning.
Huh?
Who are you? Where did you come from?
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Yeah, bro, this guy's something else. Just look at his eyes.
Как будто нас живьем сожрет.
Let's not get on his bad side, okay? I am no match for this guy.
Oh, okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor that the madmen will disappear and that the Scarlet King will return to this land. I'm not making this up. I swear.
Hey, go on. Keep talking.
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at the academia. They keep sending us all their mad scholars and won't let us have a good life. Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more thrilled than me when they heard the news.
We're all praying for the Scarlet King's speedy return. Delavar also said that once the Scarlet King returns to our side, it's only a matter of time before we conquer the land on the other side of the wall. They're all willing to serve under the Scarlet King and fight for a share of the...
Is that so?
Seems like he still wants to know more. Keep talking.
Got it. At first, I told myself it was just the drink talking, but then all the mad scholars vanished without a trace, just as the rumors said. Please don't beat me up just for mentioning these rumors. If I'm guilty, then everyone else around here is also guilty. I'm just saying what the others...
The people here really like the Scarlet King, but dislike the Dendro Archon.
Where is this radical person you talked about?
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he probably hasn't been around the village. What about you, man?
No, not at all. We wouldn't dare lie to you. He's really not here right now.
Все, просто уходишь. Ну давайте, там тоже удачки.
Sounds like you're not too close with the radicals.
No, of course not. All we know are their names.
На какую пальму-то посмотреть? Что-то я не понял.
I have many ways to stop you from talking, and many others to stop you from sending warning messages. So you'd best just stay home and hope I don't hear of you trying to contact anybody. Don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of this. Try something foolish, and even Candace won't be able to protect.
Yes, got it.
That scared Paimon half to death. Sino is pretty terrifying. He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's used to hearing that. Oh, Paimon bets lots of people have told him that before.
I heard that.
Sorry.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead, but we need to check a few more places. Very well.
Ну, я видел, что-то на пальме растет, когда была касцена, а потом что-то я от нее отошел, но на этих ничего не растет. Где-то пальма, что-то я не помню уже. Шапку с него снимешь. А еще тут кактусы растут. А вон что-то растет. Вон.
Grandpa, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so...
Райден переплюнуть в каком плане?
But he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa.
Типа по внушению страха или в каком плане, типа, никто не смог Райден переплюнуть?
This is where Grandpa usually stays.
There sure isn't much here.
No.
Incense? Please don't say it's the same one as before. But are you okay? Are you getting dizzy or need to lie down?
There's a scent that you can sense, but I can't.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully, Tainari saved the day. And then he gave us a long lecture to explain all about how it worked.
So, you know Tainari.
Huh? You know him too? Are you two friends?
Ну, как бы в тот момент, когда мы по сюжету сталкивались с райдом, ну, что игрок, что тревелер, типа, это не просто какой-то архон, да, который как, типа, там, Венти, да, типа, эхе, и все, там, пьяный этот Барт. Это не какой-то там Джун Ли, который просто там что-то говорит о своих контрактах и сам тоже ничего не делает. В момент, когда мы столкнулись с Райден, это полноценная боевая единица, которая была настроена нас убить. И типа это мощь, с которой мы ничего не смогли сделать. А Сайна, ну он типа, ну просто типа Сайна, это чувак, который никогда не встречал никого сильнее себя, типа которого никогда по лицу не били, вот он типа такой генерал чего-то там, ну, понятное дело, он ничего уже не внушает. Потому что относительно того, что мы, ну, Тревелер пережил с Райден, ну, мы как игроки, да, пережили при встрече с Райден, типа Сайна, ну, такой типа чувак, типа, ай, ладно, он там что-то говорит, да и ладно, выглядит забавно со стороны и все.
Yes. Now that I concentrate, I can also make out the scent of incense.
Wait, surely Tainari didn't lecture you too?
No, no need. Did you first encounter this scent at Tainari's house? In the forest. From a scholar.
Ну, наверное, потому что Тревелер просто так появляется, а Сайна как полноценная игровая моделька ходит. А во. Или мне самому нужно что-то найти? Типа следы выглядят достаточно четкими, нет? Этого недостаточно? Нет, тут, скорее всего, от уровня песка зависит, потому что тут, где следы не оставались.
Here it is. Take a look right here.
Paimon doesn't see anything.
Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand, there are footprints here. From the size and shape, they belong to an adult male. This pattern is a common one from this area. The scent is quite faint, but still extant. The footprints had in the...
But who would come looking for Grandpa? He doesn't have any friends.
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the incense.
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just a scent? Hey, what's wrong with liking good food? Everyone's got something they love in life.
Exactly. Most scholars are fond of incense, since the smell supposedly helps them clear their minds and discover new knowledge. Even deep within the clutches of madness, they still yearn for their knowledge-seeking days.
No, Grandpa.
So, someone's taking advantage of their weakness?
Ну, просто помимо, не знаю, там... запаха котлет им нравится нюхать еще там какие-нибудь следы, цветочки, деревья, листики и все вот это.
Are the rumors really true? Could the disappearance of all the mad scholars
Типа они
have something to do with the rat?
собрали всех этих ученых, чтобы просто принести в жертву ради попытки кого-то воскресить.
It's highly likely.
И нам вот тоже показали именно, когда показывали Нахиду, нам показали Скоромуча, каком-то доспехе, который находится где? То есть он находится непосредственно близко рядом с ней, или он находится где-то в пустыне? То есть именно по расстоянию, ну, как нам показали, он находится прямо за стенкой, но вряд ли бы он находился прямо за стенкой. Скорее всего, он где-то в пустыне, и типа это он тут что-то делает.
Please, you have to save my grandpa. Grandpa's never done anything wrong.
Sounds like we'd better help get him back. Don't you worry, Isak. We won't let whoever took him get away with it.
Ну да, я вижу, что времени много.
We'll set off to find the scholars.
Ну, времени, да, уже реально. Ну, во, это что такое? Его там не было. То есть там была арена, но его там не было. Теперь просто так добавили нового босса. Ну ладно. Я так и не потратил смолу. Я думал, я дойду до какого-нибудь нового босса по сюжету и поубиваю его, но что-то не судьба. Тогда придется ее просто так сохранить. На ходовую ПЛ в подводном я не знаю, что это. Но я как бы запахи особо сильно не различаю. Ну, то есть вот так вот даже прям замечаешь, что, ну, как бы сравниваешь себя с другими. Я вот сижу, я даже запаха не чувствую. А люди вокруг такие, типа, чем это пахнет там или воняет. А я сижу такой, типа, серьезно, я ничего не чувствую. Только потом, когда запах уже усиливается, только до меня это доходит. То есть я, в принципе, запахи, ну, так себе не очень чувствую. Подводная лодка. Ну, кто же нас возьмет на подводную лодку? Стремительный выпад вперед, нанося противникам на пути электроурон. Взрыв стихий Сайн вводит его в состояние прокладыватель, поклявшийся прокладыватель путь. Чего? Чего? Как это связано? Как состояние поклявшись, поклявшийся, а не проклявшийся. Поклявшийся прокладывать путь. Хорошо. То есть главный вопрос, когда он входит в этот поклявшийся путь, он может как Наэль переключаться? То есть вот я включил ульту, она у меня там какое-то время длится, я переключился на Коле, обратно переключаюсь, и она пропала. И учимся, как делает Наэль, она там что-то переключилась на Коле и вернулась обратно, вернулась сюда, что-то там поделали, и она продолжает еще бить. А потом, ну, типа, какой персонаж лучше? Ну ладно, допустим. Я думал, сейчас на Наэль переключусь, а у нее все еще будет ульта, но нет. Уже слишком много времени прошло. Ну, вообще, как бы урон у него вроде бы есть, но хотя тут судить по урону не приходится. Так, повторить испытание. Что у него... Это откуда был щит? Что это такое? Это какие-то метки, да? Он умеет летать. Ладно, у нас Венти типа поднимается в воздух в одной анимации. Почему Сайна поднимается в воздух? Ну, обычные атаки. Ешка. Ну, опять же, какой-то ритуал погребения. Урон ритуала погребения. А, это в ульте, да? Попадание поклявшегося. Блин, очень много цифр. Это все нужно читать. В общем, электроурон. Эта штука сколько стоит? Базовая длительность 10. То есть она... Насколько она продляется? Где-то это было написано. Типа 3 раза на 3 секунды она продляется. И... Типа урон в ульте это считается именно уроном от ульты. То есть так же как у Райден его ульта работает. Заряженных атак, который не может быть отменен другими инфузиями. Урона от обычных атак, заряженных атак и атак в падении в электроурон, который не может быть отменен. Эффект длится максимум 18 секунд и исчезает, если Сайна покидает поле боя. Мастерство стихии и сопротивление прерывания Сайна увеличивается, он получает иммунитет к урону от реакции заряжен. Это считается уроном обычных атак или уроном ульты, потому что тут как бы цифры-то свои. Но нигде не сказано, то есть у Райден четко сказано, что это считается уроном ульты. А тут этого не сказано. Это что? Увеличивает следующие показатели урона Сая в зависимости от его мастерства стихии. Ну хорошо, то есть у него даже мастерство стихии как бы увеличивает его урон, а это что? Увеличивает награду за экспедиции в Сумеру. Ну ладно. Но опять же увеличивает бонус атаки, экипированного этим оружием персонажа на 52%. А вот его мастерства... вот его мастерства стихий. Хорошо. А сколько у него ешка откатывается? 7 секунд. Ой, не то нажал. Копейщик, Карл. Не, ну это копье точно нужно отдать Сянке. Да, и в состоянии ульты ешка откатывается 3 секунды. И если я буду попадать в такт этими ешками... Ой, зря нажал, да? То длительность ульты будет 18%. И, 18 секунд. То есть это как бы очень долго. То есть теоретически он все время может просто так находиться в ульте. Но проблема только в том, что он при переключении на другого персонажа теряет свою ульту. Если бы это было как у Наэль, это была бы имба, конечно. Но так, как бы, ну, у него урона есть, поэтому почему нет? Но в 18 секунд длительность ульты это очень жирно. Реально очень жирно. Тут даже спорить не нужно. Ну, я особо что-то не читал, что там у него было написано, но... То есть, я себе персонажа, скорее всего, его выбивать не буду, скорее всего, поэтому что-то, ну, не знаю. Потом, может быть, почитаю именно, что он делает и зачем это все нужно, но явно не сейчас, в общем. Сегодня я и так уже задержался, на сегодня я буду заканчивать, завтра, скорее всего, будет просто продолжение сюжетки, но на этом все. Всем спасибо, что пришли, всем удачи, всем пока, приятного аппетита и спокойной ночи. На этом все. Я пошел.
It's been getting quite busy recently. Come take a look. There will definitely be something that catches your eye. It's time to move on.